Jack. The podcast, I don't think it's been hitting the same since episode 1. I'm going to be honest with you.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what we could do better. Should we just talk about Jason Kubel every episode, or what can we do that to recapture the essence of that first episode where, we were new to this and, you know, after 115, 16 episodes, it just, I don't know. I feel like there's someone we need to call. You think you can do that for me?
I think I know a guy.
You think you know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm back, bitches.
Holy shit, it's fucking Joe Notch
I'm finally back.
on the podcast.
Let's go.
Holy shit. It feels like it's September of 2019 all over again.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time
I
ago.
can't believe it's been that long since you've been on the show.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't feel like that long.
How has life changed for everyone since Notch was last on the podcast?
Last time Notch was on the podcast, I still had a girlfriend.
Last time I was on the podcast, I had an arm that was still intact.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
I broke the shit out of my collarbone snowboarding.
So, when was that? When was that?
That was March of this year, and I hit a sign in midair.
Wow. Okay. So wait, what? You hit a sign in midair?
I hit a sign in midair. I went off a jump, right? It's not a marked jump, right? Somebody just built a jump, and there's a sign warning about the blind spot right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the sign was placed in the blind spot.
Oh my god. The ski slope designers are quite foolish for that one.
The weekend setup crew is pretty stupid, I'd say.
Yeah. So, Notch, why would you say you haven't been on the podcast? And you know what sucks about doing these podcasts that are in video where it's only one camera? Is the fact that I'm looking away from the camera to talk to Notch.
Yeah.
And then Notch is just like, oh, I don't know, Lucas. He's like looking through the camera. But
I don't ever look at the camera when I do this shit.
Yeah, me neither.
Only if I'm like actually talking to the audience.
But it's like on the ones where it's at my house. Like, for example, when we have 4 people, like Burrow, like he's talking to me because I'm like asking him questions and stuff. I just use him for example because I think the last one we did at our house was with Burrow, and Burrow always sits like literally facing away from the camera. So on the podcast, not only is the audio worse because he's facing away from the microphone,
You
but
just see the
you
back
see the
of
back
his
of his head.
head.
So it's like, what's up? So basically, what happened was at fucking California, and then yeah. So that's how
Did some drugs.
yeah. Well, that's a bit of an understatement when it comes to Burrow, but
Some.
yeah.
so yeah, my question was gonna be why did Notch take such a long hiatus from the podcast?
I don't know. You tell me, Lucas.
Yeah,
I actually
show
I actually
about
do
it.
have a reason for that, and it's because well, I don't really have when we did the first podcast, it was just kind of just whoever we thought of randomly. Like Marcus, obviously, made an agreement with him that he was going to be on the first episode, and then you and Notch. You're one of my best friends, Jack. So obviously, you were just going to be on it, and you were on like episode 2 right afterwards as well.
Was that the Wall Squad V1?
That was me, you, and Karl V1, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I might need to watch that episode again.
yeah, we've done 3 episodes where it's me, you, and Karl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
is a good
choice.
combination though.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, well it's mostly just Karl.
Yeah, but it's
Karl
it's the
is
fact that
Karl.
Karl says so much stupid shit, and then me and you just laugh
Yeah.
like on the last episode, for
It's just-
example.
You know what's funny
It's
though?
free entertainment.
I actually have a funny story about Karl.
Okay, should we save it for after I'm done explaining why Notch took the hiatus?
Okay.
Because when I make the
We're getting off-
chapters, when I make the
yeah.
chapters after this, it's gonna be so AIDS. Because
Okay,
I have to be like,
yeah.
oh, why Joe Notch wasn't on the podcast?
And-
Continue. Yeah.
I
Anyway.
think this is a random blurb about Karl.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
How did he get brought up?
because we were talking about episode 2.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Notch. It was just like I don't know, because I guess after a certain amount of time, it was like, I need to have this person on, this person on, this person on, and then you and Marcus are just at the time we're just so much more like
Recurring.
you're more recurring guests, and that's how it's always been. And you guys are, like I guess you're just two of my closest friends as well.
Yeah.
But at some point, it became to where when it was like, well, we got to say Notch hasn't been on the podcast for so long. We can't just have him on some stupid episode, which is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But I think that this episode, the whole clickbait and everything, will be Notch's grand return to the podcast. I wanted to have Notch on like 111.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. You told me
Damn,
that. I was
yeah,
gonna
that
get
would've been
one
good.
on, and
Yeah.
then-
I don't. Yeah, I think. Yeah, because I think I had to leave for Eau Claire the next day or something like that.
Yeah.
So it didn't end up working. But whatever. But I don't know. It was at some point I was like, maybe I'll save Notch for like episode like 100 or something. He'll come back in some scene, or well, I don't know. I was thinking of some plan to have Notch back, but it's like Notch is like equal friends with us than anyone else who's like a regular on the podcast. So there was no reason other than he hasn't been on in so long. It just became a meme.
That
When is
I
Joe
was-
Notch returning?
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
ever back on until
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah.
That's fucking wild, bro. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, so it's crazy that Joe Notch was on the podcast before like Burrow and Sandquist and Karl
Yeah.
and Simon and all these mainstays on the podcast now.
It makes it unique.
No one is more of an OG than Joe Notch.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how I got on the first episode. Like, what
Oh, I
was
think-
the backstory to that?
Okay, so the three of us, like, we sat at the same lunch table our
Mhm.
junior year,
That's
first
true.
and second.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
first semester and as far as second semester. It was the exact same table. I remember it was the exact same table in the exact same spot.
Spots.
It was like
the only difference
close
was
to the wall, but it was like close to the
It was a good
bridge.
table.
It was a fucking amazing table.
and the people there. It was like
We had people like trying to sit with us. I remember once we had like
Sandquist.
we had like 12 people at our table with like 8 chairs. It was insane.
People
that-
sitting on their backpacks.
It's so crazy that was also before. Like that was after this. All this stuff we're talking about is after the podcast started. Like so,
Mhm.
throughout all this time, it's like we would be like, "Hey, Cooper, you want to be on the podcast?" Because Cooper was at our
Oh
lunch
my
table.
God.
Jay, if you want to be on the podcast this week, we'd be like, we'd always talk about the
It would be
podcast,
easy to set up.
and then yeah, exactly, and then yeah, oh my god, it was so easy to set up a podcast back then.
Bro, that table is the most OG.
Yeah, so we
that-
should say it was
that
me, it was
table.
us three, JP.
JP was. I feel like JP wasn't there at the start.
JP wasn't there at the initial start, but
Yeah.
it was
and then
he was there for both semesters.
Mhm.
It was,
Yeah.
It was us three: Karl, Burrow, Carter, JP.
Mm-hmm.
me.
Did you say Notch?
Wait, us three: Karl, JP, Carter, Burrow, and Cooper.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
What?
So all those people.
Why did he say? Why? Okay.
Yeah, but all those people were on like the first 8 episodes of the podcast, so it was
I
like
know.
that was like the core group, and that's kind
Yeah.
of like if you think about it, when we were, I think part of the reason that I was like the podcast will work is when we had those like lunch table talks. That's why we do the podcast. I started the podcast in the first place because we would just talk about so much. Us, me and all my friends are just talking about stupid shit, and we're like, this is some funny stuff. Sometimes I want to save these conversations and re-listen to them or hear what other people think.
Yeah.
And so that's what the podcast started as, and
Did Marcus sit at our lunch table?
no,
Okay.
I get but Marcus would like back when we would go to John's every weekend for the Tillies and stuff.
Oh yeah, good times.
Yeah,
Lucas hitting a shopping cart.
why are you saying that? You're exposing me.
I
don't even know if my
exposing you.
parents know about that.
Was that with the
That was with the car that is currently owned by my dad.
It was
the
like,
Ramadan Express?
No, the Mongmobile.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Mongmobile.
Did you know? Okay, so you know how my brother has a superpower. This is gonna sound off topic, but I'm gonna relate it back to the original topic, right?
Which was what?
Which is the me hitting the shopping cart thing with
Oh,
my grandma's car, which is now my dad's car, which is going to be my sister's car after she gets her license.
Did we explain why Notch hasn't been on the show in so long?
Yes, we literally just were talking about that.
Ah man, I can't even remember all these conversations.
What the
They're
hell
just
is
so
wrong with you,
rapid
Jake?
fire?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
Anyways, so we were what was I just talking about? We were okay. So my brother, he has an ability that I always say that he has a superpower to make tablets unable to charge. He'll just be like, "What happened to that tablet? Oh, it stopped charging. What the fuck?" He's literally gone through like 4 tablets at this point. My dad has an ability to fuck up cars that my grandparents give us. What will happen is we'll be like, "Oh, we need a new car." My grandparents will be like, "We need a new car." So we buy a very old car from them, and they get a nicer car, right? Because they're both, they're all retired and shits.
Yeah.
So every time my dad gets a car, like 2 or 3 months later, I get into it and it's a complete mess. And something will be fucked up with it. Like right now, the car that was my grandma's car. Whenever he drives it, I don't know what happened. It's just a curse that he has. But it just something is fucked up where he turns it on and goes. It sounds like when you're a kid and you put a pop can in your bike
Yeah.
to make it like be loud.
A pop can.
Yeah, it
You-
makes it sound like an engine.
Yeah, you put you've never done that? You
What
put
are you
like a
talking-
soda can,
Yeah.
like
Like a full
no
one?
like an
You-
empty one. You
yeah.
crush it and put it between your wheel, and then
And
it
then when
sounds
it
like an
hits the
engine when you drive it.
spokes-
You never did that?
No.
Damn.
Bro, but that's what my dad's car sounds like. So I always say that my dad has the ability to fuck up cars, and it just so happens like we buy the cars that my grandparents don't use, and my grandparents don't drive that much, and then like he uses them so much that it just fucking ages, like it just fucks them up. I don't know what happens,
Some
but
people are just bad luck with cars, though.
I guess I still have my car from you hit a deer, didn't you?
I hit a deer with my brother's car, actually.
Oh.
That was tough. He was using my truck, right? And I was coming back from a end of school year party in like what, junior year? No.
Yeah.
Sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Sophomore year. It's like 1 a.m. because Abby sliced her foot open, and we stayed for that to make
I
sure
remember
she was
that.
okay.
When was this?
I remember
Was
that,
I
though.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I went there
What
with
was that?
I went there
I was
with
at
my
Maria's.
End of
I
sophomore.
went there with
Oh.
my ex-girlfriend before we were even dating.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
provide a little
Yeah.
context.
Sophomore year was
2019.
yeah. So that would have been okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it was at Maria's. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. So yeah, because that's back when we did the Maria parties at the end of the school year.
I
They
fucked up
still
that.
be doing that shit, but I'm never invited.
Well, I'm not. They just do it with the girls, I think now. Well, maybe they just have people over at Maria's house all the time now. I think I was at
guess.
Maria's house at the end of the school year, but nobody swam
Mm.
Yeah, because it was cold.
at
as
the end of the
shit.
last school year,
Oh, senior.
senior year, and then we went to
Oh.
John's right after. You remember that we were all at John's
Yeah.
on like literally the last day of school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember that. That was a really fun night.
Yeah. Anyways, back to your story, Notch, about you. We have to go back on like 8 stories.
Yeah, we do. We just keep getting on tangents and forgetting about
That's
what we
okay,
said
but we
before.
can
We can go back. We have time.
Yeah,
we have
we can
time.
go back.
We can go
Okay.
back. But I fucked up that
I never
deer.
got to say what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
about-
so what we have to do is he has to say his deer
Yeah.
thing. I have to finish my thing about my grandma's car, and then you have to say your thing about Karl.
Oh yeah, no, it's about Carl's dad.
Okay.
No, God, you just fucking ruined the story, bro.
What? How did he ruin the story?
Because I was gonna like build it up and like.
No, I don't. He didn't spoil anything.
I spoiled
I-
it.
He
I
spoiled
it.
it.
Okay, I can
spoiled
bleep
it.
out what he said. I can bleep out what he said.
No, it doesn't even matter now. Bro.
I didn't even hear what he said. I can bleep it out.
Just bleep it out. Just
Okay,
bleep it
okay.
out.
Fuck you, Jack. Just, Notch.
I said nothing there.
So Notch, you got like 3 cars.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
bleep
alright,
it. Please
alright.
bleep it.
My truck, first car I got, 2003 Chevy Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
I remember
I was
that
driving
thing.
to school one day. It's like 15 degrees out, and I'm going up a hill, and the engine block fucking cracks.
Oh, and were you going
Oh.
up the hill?
Like,
That's close to our school.
no, I was going up the hill, like right outside my house.
This is in
Oh.
Denmark.
Oh,
This is
okay.
in Denmark, and engine block fucking cracked. Coolant got into the engine. Oil got into everything's just in the engine. I'm like, ah, fuck, it's overheating. Like, the temperature gauge is all the way up, and it's like, you're fucked. And I look backwards.
Should
There's
move this couch.
a shit ton of smoke just like billowing out of my truck. I'm like, that's not good.
Wait,
Yeah, there's
Oh
just
my
like
God.
smoke everywhere.
that's-
I'm like, well, that's fucked. Pulled over to the side of the road, said goodbye to the truck I had known for my whole fucking life.
I remember you were
That was-
texting
that
me
was
about
sad.
that.
That was
No.
so sad.
Oh my God!
When was this?
I remember in was this like in October or some shit?
This was like,
Was this like 2018?
I think it was like the year, like within a year after I got my license.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So 2019, probably.
So
Twenty- yeah,
it was
2018.
after
No.
the deer truck. The
Yeah,
deer car.
yeah, it was after
Oh,
the
okay.
deer carts. My brother was using that truck at the time because he
Mhm.
needed to haul some shit. So I was using his like 2008 Honda Accord or something.
Okay.
I'm just brepping like down the highway, going back to my house. and a fucking deer pops out in front of me. I'm going like 70 miles per hour down this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking slam on the brakes, not soon enough, and I fucking sent the deer flying like 30 feet through the air.
Damn.
And that thing was like flew through the air, hit the ground, twitched a few times, and was fucking dead. On
Twitch.
impact.
Oh,
On
that's
impact.
gross.
And then I had to fucking grab napkins out of my car, grab it by the legs, and pull it to the side of the road so
Oh,
nobody
really?
else hits it. Yeah. Just courtesy.
I hit a deer once, but it was like I was already slowing down. Like I might have been like coasting or something because there was a bunch of deers, and like a deer went past it. I must have hit it or something because it was like I went by the deer was like this going past my car, and then it just started to go, and I felt like I was literally stopped. Oh shit!
You
This thing
almost
is.
fucking burned my house down.
I was. That would have been a. Okay, I was about to spoil something. Anyways. Anyways, I'm gonna have to turn the brightness up on this epi. Anyways, yeah. So I feel like I was stopped, and then the deer just was like, "Nope, fuck you, I'm gonna go right," and lay down in your car. It just kept running. It didn't do any damage to my car,
Yeah.
and it didn't. I guess fuck up the deer at all. But I must have hit it while I was like coasting or something.
I've heard some people getting like they don't hit the deer, they get hit by deer. They'll
Yeah.
be like stop and the deer will fucking run into the side of their car.
Deer are
These
genius
things are
animals.
so stupid.
They are.
Yeah. Okay.
There's way too many of them too.
What was I gonna say about my grandma's? Yeah. So basically, the whole point is, I had my grandma's car. I probably told on the podcast before. I hit a shopping cart with it when Joanna was in the car.
Shopping cart.
did-
What?
Didn't
You hit
dent.
it,
Thong.
like how hard did you hit a shopping?
He was.
That's
he
probably
was
going like
15,
15 miles per
15,
hour.
15 through the wall.
But I hit
2
the handles of it. So it wasn't like the
Oh,
front of it.
Yeah.
So it didn't like hit my car really at all. It was like
Didn't-
the
didn't
corner
really
of the
dent it.
handles hitting the
Front bumper.
the front bumper of my car. So it didn't like dent it at all.
Yeah.
What we didn't even look for was if the car. We didn't look where the shopping cart ended up.
Oh no, you can see where it ended up. Your windows were so fucking frosty.
Yeah, that one. Okay, fine.
5 degrees
We'll
out.
just retell the story real quick. Basically, what happened was, we're all gonna go to Walmart to buy snacks and shit, and I had I guess I don't know why.
I don't think I went with.
No,
I
you
never
weren't. You
used
weren't
to-
with me. You weren't
I
with me.
never used to go on those.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I think you were with Marcus or somebody.
Yeah. Anyways, my cars were fogged up for some reason. I think I forgot to turn off some defroster or some shit.
You forgot to
it-
turn it on, probably.
Or
It
whatever.
just-
I don't know.
It wouldn't have worked by then. It's
And,
like 2
anyway,
minutes
it was like a
away.
2-minute drive. So basically, what we're doing was not advisable, but basically, what ended up happening was Marcus was looking out the window. I could see basically through the window, but
The very
I couldn't see.
bottom, the
It was like I was had
Blue
bad
brand.
vision. Yes,
top.
it was like it was blurred. Yeah. So then Marcus was looking out the window, and obviously the entire way, he's saying shit like, "Oh, deer," or something like that. I'd be like, "What?" And then he'd be like, "Ah, fucking with you," or he'll be like, "Oh, there's a kid." I'd be like, and it was like 12:30 in the morning. Obviously, there wasn't a kid. We get to Walmart, and then I'm driving through the parking lot. It's like, you know how you don't have to go through when there's nobody in the parking lot. You
Yeah.
can just go through the parking lot.
There's like 2 cars there.
So
Yeah.
I was in the way back of the parking lot, in like the back corner, just entering in, and I was going across, and it wasn't even anywhere near where the shopping
Yeah.
cart exit things were. It was like literally the back of the thing. And Marcus just goes, "Shopping cart." I'm like, "Huh, dunk!" And all of a sudden, I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "I told you there's a shopping cart." It's like, yes, but you just said 90 other things that were fake.
I
It was like
bet
the boy who
That was
cried
so
wolf.
funny.
I bet Marcus was laughing his ass.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
you
were
know-
all dying.
Marcus loves it whenever I'm freaking out, Marcus loves that so much. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this? If my house started flooding, Marcus would probably just laugh his ass off. I think that'd be Marcus's wet dream, is me like panicking over like my house burning down or like my house flooding or something. Me like trying to distinguish the fire or some shit like that. Because Marcus just loves when I'm in a panic about shit or like something isn't working. At least when it's like he knows it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Anyways, point being, hit the shopping cart, didn't do any damage to the car, and then that was the end of the story.
The shopping cart went flying.
Yeah, shopping cart went flying,
I
but
wish I was there to see that.
obviously it didn't. I don't think it hit anyone.
No.
Do you guys remember when? Oh, never mind. Yeah,
Wait, I need to tell my story about
Carl's dad.
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is a very funny story that I was informed of by my best friend Ben Borndale's father, Stephen Borndale, who
Okay.
graduated around the same time as Carl Warner's father, Kent.
Yes. Okay.
So, Steve, Ben's dad, and and Carl's dad. I'm pretty sure. This isn't. Don't quote me on this, but like I'm pretty sure they went to high school
Yeah.
within the same 4 years of one another.
Yeah, so at one point they were at school together.
Yeah, at one point they were at school together, I believe. But Steve said that him and all his friends call Kent Warner story time
Story time?
because he always like has a story for something. And I
Okay.
was like thinking about that. I was like, if that's true, I can totally see where Karl gets it now.
Yeah. I've only talked to Carl's dad once.
I talked to him at his grad party, and this fucking guy, it was the funniest thing ever. Me and Ben we couldn't get over this. Like, he literally was like, wait, no, I think I've talked to him twice.
Because then he comes to your grad party?
No. Me and, okay, so me and my, me and my family went to Carl's grad party, but I don't think his parents came to mine. But
Okay.
they sent me some money, though.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
pretty
did Carl
epic.
go to your grad party even? I don't think I saw him there.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
He might have been. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I usually remember when people come to my grad party because, like, yeah, I'm like, oh, I went to this person's grad party and they didn't come to mine. That's sus.
Remember I saw,
Should I just cut this whole part out?
yes.
Okay.
I have nothing to say about this.
We
I feel like I'm not doing the podcast again. He's not saying anything.
Because you guys keep talking. I have no room to talk. Literally none. Literally, you see Lucas talking on there? Like, the sound waves are like, they fucking go all the way to the top. And if anybody else talks, it's just a, like, little tiny movement.
Shut the fuck up. Your waves are going up way so much.
Yes, I'm yelling right next to the microphone.
You don't need to be yelling out. Real talk.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah.
Jack Dunn's parents are asleep right now.
Yeah.
Well, your parents listen to this, Jack? Don't think you should listen to ones you're on?
I don't know.
Maybe one.
Maybe one. I think maybe one or two they've listened to, possibly.
So, okay. I feel like you've told me otherwise before, but not that I care. I'm just saying.
No, your pride is destroyed.
I thought I had two biggest fans, Luke and Joanne.
Just playing.
All
You know what's crazy though, guys? This dude said that he played Mario Kart Wii when you were like super little, and you were like that. You said that shit was like your childhood. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And-
like it was in almost every child in
Yeah.
America's.
Yeah.
It wasn't in mine though. I played Mario Kart Double Dash, the way harder game.
The what? No.
Yes.
Way harder.
The way harder compared to Mario Kart Wii.
Double.
I guess the
dash.
controls are just harder.
No, it's
The drifting- the
the drifting
drifting is
mechanics are terrible.
That's what I'm saying.
Stupid slide.
But if you okay, here's what I'll say. This is what I'm trying to get at. If you put, let's say you put both of everything, all the tracks, like original tracks in Mario Kart 8, and then just had the controls and the driving and everything of Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart Wii would be harder because the tracks are harder.
Mm.
And I think the item balancing is more stupid in Mario Kart Wii.
Oh yeah, it's broken. It's so
It's
broken.
like
You can be
fucking.
in
There's like
12th.
5 blue shells a game in
Yeah.
that fucking game.
You can be in 12th, be a second behind first, and get a bullet.
But that's what makes it fun, I think.
Yeah, it is very chaotic.
It's It's definitely the best Mario Kart game.
It definitely is not, but
Well, okay. Well, once I
It's one of the-
once
it's
I
one-
modify
yeah.
my Wii and like
Yeah, you get all
get
the custom
250
tracks.
different tracks, it's like just as good.
starting. Like you can download more. There's
Dude,
tens of thousands.
I don't know why.
you can do that
I
for
don't-
any video game of all
I feel like
time.
my Wii. There's just something wrong with my Wii, and
There's-
it won't allow me to do it.
Jack Dunn, by the way, okay, so for reference, Jack Dunn started playing Mario Kart Wii, which he never had as a kid, and then he's saying how excited he is to play. I'm like, congratulations on playing a 13-year-old game. Or I'm buying. He's told me, I just bought Mario Kart Wii last night. I'm like, yeah, I got that for my 6th birthday party. I literally did.
'Cause I'm literally a child
Here-
still.
Yeah,
man.
let me text you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, shit. What did Sanquist text me?
Oh no.
He said, "Oh, Sanquist said he officially put his application in to go to my college." That's a W move. Okay, so this is what I texted Jack Dunn last night, basically for some context. Let's see here. When did I stop texting about Better Call Saul? Okay, so I said. He said, I purchased Mario Kart Wii today. Now I just need to mod my Wii, as do you, because Jack Dunn wants me to mod my personal Wii
Do it.
just to play
It's not-
online with him.
It's so easy.
It's
It's
not that
like
good.
Well, you haven't
it's
figured it
so
out yet,
easy.
dipshit, and you've been doing it all day.
There's
You want me to mod my
hundreds of
Wii
No,
and
I was just trying to connect
potentially
my
fuck it up when you can't do it to play a game that you're going to play for 2 weeks and forget
once,
about.
Once I do it, you have to do it.
Okay, once Notch does it.
Because I'm actually competent with this stuff.
Dude, I'm like, I wonder if like, okay, so you need a Wi-Fi connection to play the
Yeah,
game
of
online,
course.
of course. Or how else would you play?
But like the normal Wii
Fucking-
servers are like they haven't been up for years.
Yeah, so basically it's you're trying to mod your Wii and you're trying to make me mod my Wii so we can play online. Because you
Mario
can play,
Kart,
because
yeah.
Mario Kart Wii when it first came out was online. Obviously the game came out in 2008, so they don't fucking support the servers anymore. Anyways, what I said was congratulations
No, I
on
don't know why
perform.
they don't.
Huh?
It should still. Nintendo is like tripping for not.
Nintendo does a lot of stupid shit. They
Yeah.
could make such easy money. They're so dumb
So
sometimes.
easy.
I should just be sometimes. They're so dumb sometimes. You know how much music are in Nintendo games that everyone loves? Like, you think of anyone knows like a theme from any video game that they like the Wii Sports, Mario Kart Wii.
Just Wii music in
Any-
general is always
anyone in
insane.
history has played
Nintendo music.
everyone in
Yeah.
history has played a Nintendo game at least
Goated.
once, and they
Goated.
have some nostalgic music. So and then they copyright strike all the music off of YouTube.
Yeah.
All they have to do is upload it to their own
shit.
YouTube channel. They get billions of views because everybody, you know what they do? Every fucking YouTuber in the existence puts a Nintendo's like an Animal Crossing song in the back of their video or something.
Or the,
Troy
or the,
Dan. Troy
They
Dan
could put
always uses
any-
the
Nintendo.
they
Wii
could
shopping
make so much
channel
money.
theme.
They could have like the Wii like the eShop on the Wii. They could have that on the Switch. Have every Nintendo game ever in existence. But they're so dumb. Oh, they're so stupid. And everyone just emulates the games. You could just make them $10. Just make like why can't like Zelda be $10 in the eShop on the Switch? And then you can bring it anywhere. They're so stupid. They're also stupid. Anyways.
Wait, can you play like, hypothetically? If you were to get like a Wii game on the Switch, could you still play it like the same way you would with a Wii remote, but with a Joy-Con?
Yes, that is my answer to the. When they made Skyward Sword HD, you can do the motion controls of the Joy-Con, and it's like the nunchuck and the thing.
Okay.
So it has the same exact Wii Motion Plus controls and everything. And Super Mario Galaxy is on the Wii or is on the Switch
Is there a
too.
sensor in the Switch, or is it like?
No,
It's-
it's like Wii Motion
gyroscope
Plus. It's in the
stuff
thing,
control.
so you don't even like
Yeah.
you know how Wii Motion Plus you don't even need to point at the sensor.
Oh yeah.
That's why you got to calibrate. Anyways, so I texted Jack Dunn, congratulations on purchasing a 13-year-old game. He said, hater talk. I said, I'm about to mod my PlayStation to play this awesome new game too. It's called Grand Theft Auto 4. The graphics look so realistic. Jack
I
Dunn,
was so pissed when he
and
said
then Jack Dunn
that.
said, it's so different though. So this is what I said.
I was so pissed.
And I said, how is it different? I'm talking about getting a game that was released in 2008, even though there's a much better sequel that was released when I was in 5th grade, similar to GTA 5 and Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like $60 still.
Dude,
No,
I'm not trying
okay.
to say
Ridiculous.
I'd have to buy a Switch,
However,
too.
Yeah.
however, a new game in the series is very unlikely to come out anytime soon. Same, all right. The only thing that has come out in said series is an HD re-release of older content in the series. So I might play this old game, it's similar to the new DLC or the fucking shitty Vice City thing. Jackson says, "Okay, but playing a Wii game with a GameCube controller online is something my inner child is excited to do." And I
Okay,
said,
well-
"I suppose." Jack was
Okay.
like, "Don't hate."
Okay.
Anyway, so that's that. I thought that comparison. It's a very similar.
Okay, well,
you gotta
I
agree
never
how the-
played because like I never played. Okay,
never
first
pl-
of all, I never had Mario Kart Wii,
I never
Yeah,
had Mario.
which is like the. And I think
Never had GTA 4.
dude. Okay, I didn't have it either, but
Okay.
it's just like. I think it's cool that they're like still playing this game online, but I don't know what all this extra bullshit is you gotta do for it, bro. Like, makes no sense. Like, why can't I connect my Wii to a basic internet connection? Like, it should.
Can't
Yeah,
you with an
it's-
Ethernet or with a
He
USB
doesn't have
Ethernet?
internet for it.
I would have to buy the adapter.
Yeah.
There's a USB port in the back of the Wii, and you can get it to like an Ethernet
Yeah.
cable.
Yeah, that's what
And,
you
like,
have to do. Yeah.
First of all, I would have to find a different place for this device because I don't have an Ethernet cable down
Yeah,
here.
that's
Yeah.
tough.
So,
You can
like-
just get a long one and just run it through the ceiling.
I'm not trying.
If only.
My dad would not allow that.
Yeah, if only it was a game that you could play like with people. Like if only the people you wanted to play with like lived in the same city as you, because then you could just play with them like in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that you have to mod it
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
something.
Okay, well, you know what? I just it's not even about that. Like when I'm at college or something, I could be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, yo, Nat, you trying to run some Mario Kart Wii?"
Yeah,
And
and
imagine
then
how
destroy 'em.
sick that would be.
Shouldn't you be
Like
able to
it's the retro.
Notch, why can't you
You-
emulate that on the
You you
computer?
you can. It
Easily.
Can you do
doesn't.
it online?
You can't play like with people on the Wii online, and most people like.
So you
And
can,
it's way more difficult to set up, like exponentially.
how is it more difficult to set up?
You have to download way more shit
To
and
get Mario Kart
configure
Wii?
stuff. Yeah, you have to
I guess
download.
because
You have to
it's
download an emulator and then download a mod to get like
to get the
online
online,
on the
yeah.
emulator, and then there's a whole bunch of shit you have to do after that, which is just not worth it. I was looking at doing that, and I was like, you know what? I have a Wii. I'll just buy it.
Here's the question though: how much money did it cost to buy Mario Kart Wii for both of you fools who didn't?
$25.
Who
I
didn't?
paid $25.
So you guys paid $25? Okay.
Yeah, for one of the best games on the Wii.
Yeah, like
Without
Okay,
a
that's
doubt.
fair.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
okay, I was like, bro,
with
No,
mods.
why did
Mario
I never have this
endless
game?
amount
Mario
of
Kart
fun.
Wii is one of my most one of my most nostalgic games. Like the intro, like the da da when you're like setting up your like the game, like you pick Grand Prix, and then it goes like another instrument kicks in, like maybe like a piano kicks in, and then all of a sudden you pick your character, and then it's like the music is picking up, and then when you're in the when you're in the track selection menu, it's like but dun dun, and all the music is at the same time. Oh, that
Dude.
I was playing that. I was playing that for me and Henry were playing that. Like Henry had never played it. We were playing it for the first time, or he was playing it for the first time last. Like I think around this time last year we started playing it. And oh my god, I got some I got some nostalgia for
Yeah.
all the music, especially in that game, which is why Nintendo is stupid for
Bro,
not
I love. Okay,
capitalizing on the.
it's weird though. When I was really when I was like young, like from like I'd say like 6 to 9 years old, I really liked
Nice.
playing. I didn't do that on purpose, by the way,
Okay.
but I like loved Nintendo shit. Like I was always playing like Wii games or my GameCube. I had like upstairs in my living room. I
Mhm.
used to have this like old ass tube TV,
Yeah.
and my
Oh yeah, we had
pops
that.
my pops had everything hooked up to it. Like the
Mhm.
GameCube was hooked up to it. Like the Nintendo 64.
Oh,
Like
they had so many component slots in those
Oh my
things.
god.
dude, we had so many
Okay,
component
the best part
slots.
about the future, the best part about living in the future is that we will, unless you play like an older game, is we never have to do that stupid shit with the fucking yellow, red, and
Oh
white
my
Yeah,
god,
fingers.
yeah. And
HDMI
I
then
want
subs.
to die every time. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I want
When at
to put.
Nigel's house, we were trying.
oh yeah,
We were trying to hook
that
up
was some
his Wii
stupid
Yeah,
to
shit.
the three component slots in the
yeah,
back of the
Yeah.
TV,
yeah.
and we couldn't figure it out for
Or
5 minutes
composite.
No, because
or
every
whatever.
TV nowadays has like 60 of the things. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, there's not a white, red, and yellow, but there's an orange, a red, a green, a blue, and then a purple, and then a white, and then a yellow. And it's like, okay, so then I'm literally like, so you literally have to have two people, like one person's on the front of the TV, and you're like, okay, just came on, but it's black and white. Okay, so I must have done something here. Oh,
Yup.
okay, I can hear the sound, but I
That's
can't see. And it's
Yup.
just like, I fucking hate that.
that's what we were doing.
I was just, what do you think the
No,
best?
yeah.
What do you think the best chord of all time is? Like the best like plug-in of all time is? I reckon it might be USB-C.
Yeah.
You will never have trouble because it goes both ways upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or aux port is
USB-C.
good too.
No, I think the two things on like the power cord, the AC power cord, like the two
Oh,
prong
Yeah.
things.
but even
You
sometimes
stick
you have to like what
Fuck around
I
with
don't
it.
know. There must be an easier. I guess especially the power cords that are like the you imagine like this. Okay, I have to visual gag. Sorry if you're listening. The power cord is like this. I'm a power cord right now. If the things are like straight, it's so nice. But I hate when they're like pointed up like this. You know what I mean? You know, maybe I'm speaking nonsense here.
For what device?
No, no, no. Okay, so that like a plug-in to the
Yeah.
wall.
Oh, an outlet.
He's grabbing something.
Let me do a
Okay, we give
Let me
a
do a visual
visual.
scenario here. Okay, so let's see. I must have a. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So you see how this? I'm gonna put it right up to the camera. Fuck. You see how this is like straight on, like it's just a perfect rectangle like this, pretty much, or it presses down. You know how there's some cords that are like smaller and they're like some weird shape
Oh
and
yeah.
they like point out at the
Oh,
end.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are not fun.
Yeah, those like I always feel like I'm fucking scratching the thing when I try to plug them in. because they always have to be a certain way.
Yep.
Yeah.
You jam it in the wrong way. You're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah. I like chords that are you can plug them in upside down. So I think the aux is the ultimate direction because you don't have to turn it at all. It's
Yeah.
360 degrees. So maybe I think I would answer the question aux is the
I
worst
wouldn't
chord
say it's the most
or the best chord.
satisfying though. I think USB-C, like my iPhone charger is like a Lightning to USB-C to
Yeah.
like the fast charger thing. It's the best charger of all time. Like
I've never had that. Yeah.
it's like it's
I think
Lightning
Willem
to
has it.
USB-C. It's so fast. Like USB-C
How
chargers
fast
are
does it
so,
charge your phone?
like from 0 to 100, 25 minutes.
No. Shut
Yeah,
the fuck
I
up.
swear to
No,
God.
you're capping.
No.
Your phone will cap. Like, it knows, like, how much to charge it and how fast.
Uh-huh.
So, like, if it's getting too much power, it'll cut off.
It's okay, maybe not 25 minutes, but like 35 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'd say that. Yeah, it takes probably that long. It's
Yeah.
fast as hell. It's fast as hell. I
Yeah.
would say my MacBook charger is also really fast too.
Mhm.
By the way, I have a MacBook Air,
Mhm.
and like I'm like was thinking like, okay, well, either way, like this was a very expensive like item we were purchasing.
Okay.
So I was like, damn, I should have just got a MacBook Pro because like it's way like it like a MacBook. If you're getting a MacBook, don't get a MacBook Air. Get a MacBook Pro. That MacBook Air is not worth it.
It's
Like
not.
it's not great. It's not great. Like in terms of performance, like
Yeah.
it kind of fucks up on me sometimes. Like sometimes it'll just like randomly turn off and I'll be like, because like when I'm not using it, I don't like shut it off and close it like I should. But
Yeah.
like, I just like
Just
close.
it.
I just close it.
It's just sleeping. And
I
it's
thought
always
you
running.
I thought you were the master of your systems.
Yeah, you idiot.
Oh, I just
okay.
clapped and hit myself in the nuts. Basically what happened was I like we still haven't been letting Notch talk. Notch, what's your favorite chord?
My favorite chord, I mean, I agreed, the USB-C and the audio jack. Those were like my top two in my head at that point.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll include Notch in this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
kinda
you-
talk-
you were
I was
here.
kind of like in the couch.
You were here when I had to plug in my computer to set through the podcast,
Yeah.
and
All the power
I was
went
like,
out
I was
down here.
no, 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 I was like, what chord should I unplug? Can I unplug this great chord, which I know is the Wii? And he's like, yeah, that's my way. I'm like, what kind of plug? He's like, no. I'm like, why not? You're not using it. He's like, because I haven't turned it off yet, and it was on the orange, and he pushed the button to turn it on, and I was like, you just turn it on. He's like, yeah, I need to power it all the way down. I'm like, why? He's like, because otherwise it gets fucked up.
Dude.
And I was like, okay. He's like, because I care about my systems or something like that. Or I
like,
know my systems.
He's like, I'm a master of my systems.
It was so funny.
Dude, okay. Sometimes I just be saying that like wild shit. Like,
Yeah.
I just
I know. The master of the systems.
Something funny like that.
Yeah.
funny
I love
things
it. I
pop
love
into
that.
my head and then I just say them. It's like,
Yeah.
am I like egotistical as hell? For saying
No,
that?
hell no.
How are you egotistical for saying that? I
I
think
thought
things
it
in
was
my brain
fucking
and then say,
hilarious.
ooh, that might be an ego flex. Anyways,
Anyways,
it
Jack's
was awkward silence. So we had some things we need to talk about on this
battery's low
podcast,
on
by the
his
way.
Apple Watch.
What?
My battery's low?
I thought I saw that on your.
79 actually.
Oh damn.
Dude, okay, here's another
You could
thing.
slip that into.
Okay,
oh,
here's
no, no.
another thing that kind of bothers me. I feel like Apple products like always just be fucking up a lot. Except my phone because it's like one of the newest phones, but like my Apple Watch is a Series 3 and my fucking
Yeah, you should. You showed me that.
I'm not talking in like that way.
But like it'll just like randomly like
No, like my
freeze.
watch
For anyone who is not me or Jack Dunn who's sitting on the couch, Notch's phone has like looks like a bullet hole in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right over the front camera too.
Yeah.
Face ID does not work.
Yeah,
Really?
It's so tough.
that sucks.
your camera still works though.
It's super hazy.
Yeah,
Like, it's like the crack goes right over it.
When Function got the Hennessy.
That's,
That's what it looks
basically
like.
what mine.
Can I put that meme on the screen when I say that? Or no?
Yes.
Please God, no.
No? Okay, I won't.
The disc golf community might see that one.
they
Do you think the disc golf community is going to listen to this podcast?
possibly
Yeah.
at some point, like 5 years in the future.
Yeah, it's possible. This
Might become
podcast.
popular on r/disco.
What do you think we're saying in this episode that
Already
is?
have before.
What do you think that's saying? What do you think we're talking about in this podcast that we don't realize is going to become offensive in like 10 years? Because like think about it, 10 years ago, people would say like some shit that now
Like
we
you would not
we would
say.
find offensive. Like we'd be like you can think of YouTube in 2012. People were
Oh
saying
yeah.
such fucked up shit and be like yeesh. Like I was like watching Smosh and they like Smosh has not aged very well. Like it has in
No.
the sense that it's funny because it's just random,
Yeah.
but they've said some like everyone used to say like the R word and like oh that
Oh no!
they
Yeah,
would say
You're
like
saying
they'd say
like
like that's
you're
gay stuff like that back in
you.
the day.
Oh no! What you're saying is like they weren't as PC back then.
Yeah, which
Mhm.
I think it's like if you think about it now, we're not saying anything that would be like we're not saying anything to be offensive, which is like even back then like saying the R word is still like offensive, but it's not
Yeah.
as it wasn't as frowned upon, I guess, as it is
You
now.
wouldn't. I feel like you wouldn't like face any persecution
Yeah,
if you were to say it, kind of. But like now, like it's kind of been like, hey, we should stop using that
yeah,
word because
and even some
it's
people still say it, but it's not that's one of the ones that have stuck around. It's
some
like very
people.
rare people say it, and then people that don't really care. But like
Yeah.
nobody says like
We should be talking about this.
I was
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah. Hell
We
no.
No,
shouldn't be talking
Hell
about
no.
it's and we're just saying, but
Yeah.
so if in 5 years I don't know what
No,
we
we haven't really talked about anything.
no I'm just saying like things that are in our general dialect like not just this podcast but like all the other episodes
dialect.
And all
like
the
I don't know
other
just maybe some
episodes.
weird thing we're saying is gonna become like I don't know I don't I that's what I'm saying you don't know because it's in the future.
I mean, one of them already didn't age well.
Well, that one didn't necessarily age badly, but it was just time.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. That was a long time ago. Anyways,
You know what? I feel like if I were to be on a like big podcast of some sorts, like say I was like on the Joe Rogan podcast,
Joe Rogan experience. Yeah,
yeah, I would be like nervous as fuck.
yeah.
Like, cause like, how I feel like,
Because this podcast you're with your buddies.
well, yeah, that and like, but like, that's like such a like famous podcast. Like a lot of people listen to it.
Yeah,
And if you say some stupid shit, you're gonna get like clowned upon.
yeah.
Excuse me.
That's why not Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan gets clowned on a lot because he does like 12 hours of podcast a week. He's always and then he's bound to be wrong about something. Now Joe Rogan obviously might be a little bit of an exception to this because
He's wrong about a lot of things.
he is wrong about a lot of things that and he in the podcast isn't saying that like okay sorry for going on a tangent Jack Dunn but
No, you're good.
he'll say something he'll be like did you hear about the study about this and the person would be like well I don't think that's true or that's not true and be like but Joe Rogan will always be like no it is I saw it and then people Google it like he'll be like Jamie Google it and then Jamie will Google it and be like not he's like yeah Joe I'm showing 0 results for this and he's like oh well maybe I just so Joe Rogan will say something and then the person who is an expert on the thing that he's talking about will say no you're wrong and then he'll be like no I saw this thing like he never like is like oh well maybe I just saw it wrong.
He always thinks he's right, type of deal.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know, just his ideals are like, oh, you do your own research and shit. So when he says stuff like that, it makes him look dumb just
Mhm.
because of how like he is. I think, but a lot of people are like, oh, Joe Rogan, blah blah blah, like he's like a kind of hated person. But if people who like McCoy was talking about this, right, Jack? Like he's like talking to some girl and she said she didn't like Joe Rogan.
Hmm.
And then he's like, I bet you've never once listened to an actual episode of Joe Rogan. And then she's like, no. And it's like, because you see the
You
5 minute
that.
clip of him being dumb,
Yeah.
but you didn't see that other 3 hours of the podcast.
Yeah.
Which may be interesting or
Yeah.
has something cool in it.
Joe Rogan, I was listening to an episode of Joe Rogan with Mr. Beast, right? Because I don't give
Oh,
a
I
Yeah.
saw
Joe Rogan
that.
has a billion people on the podcast that I
Yeah.
don't really care about. But
Mr. B.
obviously I know Mr. Beast. Like I like to listen to people that I know both the people. Which, whatever. Even like people that I don't know necessarily as well as like Mr. Beast, who I've been subscribed to since 2017. Anyways, so he had Mr. Beast on the podcast, and Joe Rogan obviously is asking Mr. Beast all these questions about YouTube and stuff. But then Joe Rogan, in the last like 30 minutes of the podcast, was like, "So, what do you think of the metaverse?" And Mr. Beast is like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that stuff." And then what I would do is I'd be like, "Oh, okay, maybe explain it a little bit," but then But he spent literally 30 minutes talking about the metaverse, and Mr. Beast's like, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's like
Joe Rogan
no one
was.
cares.
Yeah.
He wasn't letting his guest even
Yeah,
say
yeah,
anything.
yeah. And
Like
then he's
sometimes he lets them say too much, and then other times he just doesn't let them fucking talk.
yeah, and it's like I don't
I
know.
feel like he knows when to shut up though.
Yeah, I
Like
guess,
I feel
but
like if
in that
like
case, that he
if he has a guest, he knows like. I feel like he was doing that just because he was like running out of shit to
but
like
it
talk
I
about
think
it.
he
But,
Yeah,
like,
like he
but
makes so many damn
I could, but I
podcasts.
think
yeah,
Like,
he was just
how do you keep coming up with ideas for this shit?
I know, but
for,
it's
like, metaverse.
the thing about the metaverse is that I feel like I was talking to my dad about this the other night, and
Kind of like
I
how Lucas was like, Joe Rogan.
he didn't even know the M. What? What I say about Joe Rogan?
Literally your whole like 10-minute tangent.
What about it?
How
What?
Jack got it. That's all
Okay.
that matters.
What did I do that was similar to what I'm
You
talking
were
about right
like-
now?
Jack-
How far are we in this?
Jack was like-
48 minutes
yeah.
already. Holy
Jack
know.
was like how Joe Rogan was kind of like metaverse, and I'm like, that's kind of how like Lucas was like Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
no.
I'm bringing up Joe Rogan. So you're saying you don't know anything about Joe Rogan?
I mean, I do. I don't watch. I've watched maybe like 2 or 3 episodes.
I
of
usually
people
watch
I
his
wanna
clips more
watch.
than anything.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, but you hear about him in the news a lot and stuff, so
Yeah,
you
I
know who
do.
he is.
People don't like the news doesn't like him because like they're like he's spreading misinformation. Like
And in some cases, he is.
Yeah,
But
he is.
yeah,
He's
like
an idiot, but he's an interesting idiot.
yeah, no, he is. I think it's interesting how he'll listen to anyone talk.
Yeah, he
He'll listen
will.
to Ben Shapiro and he'll listen to Bernie Sanders. They've been. I think they've both been on the podcast at some
Mhm.
point. And so they're both on complete opposite ends of the political spectrum,
him
and he
as a-
respects both of them.
I think
So
him as a
that's
game show host, he was really funny.
Yeah.
And he's a
I
real-
never watched
he's a,
that.
He's a no, he's fucking hilarious. Like he's a hilarious guy. Like his stand up
Really?
comedy is kind of funny.
I don't know.
Like,
I've never listened to any of his stand-up comedy, but whenever I see clips of it, I guess people who clip it on YouTube Shorts, which is where I see most. Like, there's so much stand-up
YouTube
on
Shorts.
YouTube Shorts.
You're just scrolling through that like TikTok.
Huh?
Is that your TikTok?
Is that yeah? That's I don't have TikTok downloaded,
but
but
that's what you
Good.
kind of do.
that's what I do when
Everything's TikTok now.
I know
Yeah,
Snapchat is
so-
TikTok, Instagram is TikTok, Reddit is TikTok,
It's
Facebook is
stupid.
TikTok.
I hate
That's
it.
how
I'd
that's
say-
how
I hate it.
everything was Snapchat a couple years ago. Everything had
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
and everything has a Shorts mode or like a
Like,
slides mode or a
slides,
Reels
like,
or a
yeah.
Snaps.
That shit
Anyways,
is so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna use those. Like TikTok was the one to like start it, and that's what people are gonna keep using. Like,
I mean, people use all of them, but I'd say
Yeah.
TikTok probably has the most short
because
form
TikTok,
content out
TikTok
of
is-
anything.
well, yeah, nobody, yeah.
there's like so many versions of TikTok. Like, there's a Chinese, like it's really popular in China. It's like really popular in like everywhere. It's like
It's
really popular
everywhere,
everywhere. Like it's a
yeah.
very popular app.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy how.
it's literally spyware, bro.
But it's also like
That's my name, CCP spyware.
It also
Look at
makes
my
me-
account.
it also makes me kind of nervous when
I
like
have
how
nothing on it.
how it's destroying everyone's attention spans.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I feel like Henry's just not at the age. Like
you should. Be
he's so
consuming
young that he
at a young age.
huh?
You shouldn't be consuming like short form content.
I
like that
know.
at a young age.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel bad because it's like, you know, it's like we always like sometimes like he didn't like the Batman for example because his one complaint it's too long.
Yeah,
And it's like I
It's
feel like
too
I feel
long.
like the younger generation. I don't maybe sound like a boomer. I'm gonna sound like a boomer if I'm saying the youngest generation. I feel like Henry's generation, for example,
it's like
is just they're so used to shorter form content that maybe like movies are not just gonna become as a popular thing because they're so like
yeah,
like they don't want to sit and watch a movie.
we're gonna have like 2 sub generations in one generation, which
Yeah,
is really weird.
like we
Like
like
the rise of technology and how it influences younger people.
I'd say
Yeah.
like there's gonna be a lot of sub generations. Like, is that what
Like-
you just described it as?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
shit's like technology's moving so fast
Oh
that
my God.
27 years is like that's a long fucking time. Like shit
I know.
can
I think
advance
so much
quickly now.
technology though is coming with like bad consequences.
Yeah,
Like,
that there's some really good ones and then there's some really bad ones.
yeah.
And we hear about the really bad ones a lot.
yeah, literally.
Well, anyways, what I was getting at was like if you're on YouTube Shorts, it's kind of sad to see like you need to have subtitles on every video. Like every video, like if it's a Family Guy clip or a stand-up clip or a clip of a guy talking about some shit, it'll have subtitles, right?
Excuse me.
And sometimes it'll be like, yeah, sometimes it'll be people talking, or like it'll be like reading a Reddit post, but they can't just do the Reddit post, so they have to have like a video of like a GTA. I like how you guys did that both identical.
What?
You guys both put the bottle down, took the sip at the
I know.
exact same
We
time.
need to like
We need to-
watch that.
I'm gonna zoom that in, replay that in slow motion. Replay that in slow motion. Anyways, um, like you have to have like, oh, it's like a stand up on one clip and then Minecraft parkour on the bottom of the screen. Like they have two videos playing at once sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. But basically, yeah, sorry to go off on a Joe Rogan tangent about like the future.
No, bro.
But at least we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mr. Beast, he kept talking about like VR and shit. Sorry, we're gonna cut back in. I was talking to my dad about how the metaverse is like the most boomer shit of all time because everyone who's like young knows like VR chat is a thing and Second Life was a thing all those years ago. So it's like people are like, "Oh, this look at the future. It's like Facebook and all this shit." But it's like, people, no, it's just
Younger
it's
people
so
aren't using
stupid.
Facebook. So
Yeah.
like it doesn't attract them at
Yeah.
all.
I-
They see Mark Zuckerberg for the lizard person he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, no, the metaverse is only something that boomers think is like
Yeah.
the only thing. It's the only thing that like they think that old people are like. Okay, I don't know what I'm just trying to say here, but the only old people think that it'll like be bad or whatever, or like it'll be a thing. But yeah, anyways, and it's supposed to be for younger people, so
Dude, no one's gonna use that.
no one's
shit.
gonna
I'm
use that
not.
shit.
I have never like searched on my computer like, is like I've watched like a few videos on the metaverse, but I've never like been like, I'm really interested in this. Like this just sounds kind of.
I wish Facebook never got into the VR shit.
Yeah, but
Because like
that's
they own Oculus
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
So, like,
When they bought Oculus, I was like, fuck.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to buy.
I
an
didn't even know that
Oculus
they
now.
bought Oculus.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
Oculus
it's-
is now a Meta product.
Yeah.
it's the Meta.
Oh, the
Quest.
Meta Quest.
It's the
Yeah, okay,
Meta
I've heard about
Quest,
that. Yeah,
They changed the name. Whatever. I don't
Yeah.
even know.
yeah. But anyways, that's so that when Joe Rogan was talking to Mr. Beast, he was like the last 3 minutes talking about the metaverse because he thinks it's about going to be the future. And Mr. Beast's like, wow, that's crazy, bro. And it's kind of just cringe. Anyways, all right.
Damn.
So we have some shit to talk about. That we plan to talk about in this episode. What do we plan to talk about in this episode?
Oh, we haven't really talked about the campout.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the camp out,
there's
and we
nothing about the camp out. What the hell?
yeah.
How have we been talking for 56 minutes and not
haven't-
And
haven't talked about
Jack
this
done before this
last
episode.
weekend?
Jack done before this. It'd be like less than 56 minutes because
They'll
Yeah,
probably-
we have
we
shit to
had
cut
the
out. But
intro
we shit
and-
to cut out. But
Yeah.
at the same
probably like
time,
50.
yeah. So yeah, Jack done before this episode was like, can we make this a 45-minute podcast? And then once we hit 46 minutes, Jack was like, oh shit, we're at 46 minutes. I'm like, I know once we start going, he's not gonna want to stop at
Yeah.
46 minutes. So I'll just say yes to his question.
You're funny, bro.
So
The camp out.
yeah, the camp out. Me and Notch and Jack and others went camping.
Plenty of others.
Yeah, we did.
That was a fun time.
We had a
Yeah,
fun
it
weekend.
was.
We used to do it every year. Not us, but I do it every year. And then COVID for 2 years. COVID.
Thank you.
We couldn't do it, and then it's basically just at my grandma's house. A bunch of people come. We all have a fun party for Memorial Day weekend, and then yeah, that's pretty much it.
And of course, I brought a fishing rod.
And Notch went fishing this year. We used to have had a long cast of people who were at once at the camp out, such as John Braun, Ben Kaiser, JP Gudisa, some
Some very classic.
some very
names.
classic characters. But this year, we had new people come who have never been there before.
It was a
Notch
good time.
Notch decided to
Notch
fish.
Certainly a good time.
Sandquist decided to not bring a pillow, sleeping bag, or blanket to camp, and so then he had to use my grandma's like shit in her basement, and yeah, it was very fun.
And everybody was fighting over who got Sandquist.
Everyone was arguing about who had to sleep with Sandquist,
We had no.
and
me
then
and
Jack
Notch
Dunn.
did.
Notch didn't spend the night the
I
second
didn't
night,
have
Oh,
to.
that's right. It was
and
me
Sandquist
and
didn't go
your-
the first night, so it was me, Marcus, and Jack Dunn. I'd say the worst was Marcus because I for some reason tricked myself into sleeping next to Marcus again. Because every time I go on vacation with him, I was always at some point in a bed with him, like when we share a room for something. and this motherfucker is like the widest sleeper of all time. He's always like
Jack.
he's always using his hands like this when he sleeps.
Is that me?
That is you took up like half of the tent.
No,
Everybody
what?
else is just like crammed.
Nah,
into
but the
corner.
second night he was fine.
Yeah.
No,
that's good,
because
that's
the
good.
second night I like crammed into the corner of the
Mhm.
tent, and I like was
Just
just,
passed out in the nook.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I like, I like slept in a really weird way the second night, but it was the first night. First night I got no
Same.
sleep.
I maybe like 2 or 3 hours at the most.
I got like 4 or 5 hours.
Wait, what day you got no sleep? The second night?
The first night.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first night I got no sleep.
First
Me and
night-
you were up late talking about shit that I didn't even remember. Because
Yeah, I was awake.
That was
Did
the
we
night
do-
of the
did we do-
debate.
did-
That
did-
was the night of the debate.
okay, should we say what the debate was?
Yeah, so we must.
So me and Jack Dunn have this debate. Okay, so this is what happened. So me and Jack, me and Jack Dunn, because Jack. Okay, so basically, the other couple weeks ago, we were at Jack Dunn's house. We were watching Better Call Saul, and Jack Dunn, Kim Wexler, who's the main female on the show, shows up on screen, and Jack Dunn, he was like 4 in the or like really late in the night, so Jack Dunn was tired as fuck, and he's just looking at the screen like half asleep. He's like, "Bro, Kim is so bad," and I was like, "Kim, what? Kim Wexler's like 50 years old. It looks like." And then Jackson's like, "Bro, she's so bad."
She's supposed to be younger. They
Yeah.
make her look younger. in the
And
show.
then, yeah, and then she's probably not that old. Ray Seahorn.
She's 50.
Okay, so exactly what I fucking said. And then Bob Odenkirk must be old.
Yeah,
He's like almost 60.
He looks older
he's
than her
old.
for sure.
Dude, no, it's funny. In Breaking Bad, he like looks younger.
It's so weird looking back at Breaking Bad. Everyone is younger. Gus, Mike is so
Mike is in Better Call Saul. Mike looks so much older.
yeah.
But we're just like, it's just like he plays him
Yeah.
so well. So there's like,
It doesn't really matter.
You're just kind of supposed to like.
And it's also the cameras were like lower quality back when Breaking Bad
Oh,
was a
yeah.
thing. Like the new seasons of Better Call Saul look so good.
Oh yeah, no,
You can
they've
see-
definitely.
You can see everyone's like pores. Exactly.
Season 5, like season 4 and 5 of Breaking Bad are pretty good though.
Yeah.
Too. See, but season like 1 and 2 of Breaking Bad, they weren't. It was not the cameras.
It was much
weren't
low
as-
budget.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I can't imagine a lot of people watching that in the big first seasons because it was on AMC too, which nobody. That was like the first AMC show, really.
No one really watched it, but there's still good. Like
Or the first big one.
there's, it gained popularity on Netflix. Like,
Yeah, that's why everyone. But that's why everyone everyone was watching The Walking Dead at the beginning because it was right when Breaking Bad was ending was when it started. So it was like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
when AMC was big, and that's why everyone watched Better Call Saul because obviously you're gonna go to AMC because to watch Better Call Saul because you know Breaking Bad was so good.
Dude, HBO passed on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's fucked.
If HBO had that shit,
way more people. would
Yeah.
watch.
yeah, they would.
HBO would have been the king of TV because
Yeah.
they probably at the same time had Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad running. In 2011, 12, and 13, they probably would have, had
that was like
Game of
the
Thrones and Breaking
peak
Bad.
of television right there.
Yeah,
But
I kind of missed when there was the show. There was like with Game of Thrones, literally everyone watched Game of Thrones, and then it was like cool to go on Twitter and be like, "Well, what does everyone think about this episode?" Because it would come out the exact same time. It would come out at night, like not like 3 a.m. like Disney Plus, but like night like 9 p.m. and like everyone was watching Game of Thrones at the same time, and then right at the end, everyone on Twitter was talking about the new episode of Game of Thrones. So the only thing about that is like I can think about it now that everyone talks about is like Disney Plus shows, like Marvel shows and Star Wars shows, like Mandalorian. Everyone talks about. I know Jack Dunn doesn't watch it because he's cringe. But
Watch it.
dude,
Watch
I
it.
don't fucking keep up with that
Yeah.
shit.
Just
he
watch
haven't
it.
seen
There's
he hasn't
so
seen any
much of
Star
it,
Wars
so
stuff.
I-
Yeah, there is.
There's
Just
so much.
watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah, you'll
How-
like it.
how
You'll
much-
like it.
How much
I
of
know
Star Wars
Giancarlo
have you-
Esposito is
Yeah,
in it.
you'll like it. Mandalorian is a show that everyone can watch.
I don't need to like watch anything before it.
How much Star Wars? Have you
He's seen
seen?
literally nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You could probably just watch like there's
can
some
watch
things
it
you could
and
watch,
some
Jack,
things
like
you can't.
Mandalorian or like one of the solo movies like Rogue One. You'd probably like because it just stands on its own. Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
You should just watch the first 3 at least,
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6.
We have them.
Well, we can
my
watch 'em.
pops, My pops got them on DVD. But
But it's also on
watch-
Disney
watch
Plus.
the
We literally
movies.
talked about this the other day. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Then you'll
Oh,
know.
we were talking about Kim Wexler. Wait, how did we start talking about this?
I don't. The camp out. We're just being awake because we can't sleep. Yeah, you keep almost knocking
There's about
that
to
shit
be some
over.
chicanery happening here.
Literally.
Yeah. Camp
Anyways, so then
chicanery.
after
Badger.
watching Better Call Saul, then we watched Seinfeld, and I was like, bro, as a joke, I was like, bro, Elaine is so bad. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, Elaine, and she's like, bro, no, she's not. I'm like, you just said Kim Wexler was hot. He's like, Kim is hot. I'm like, yeah, Elaine is hot. He's like, and so we had this debate of who's more attractive, Kim from Better Call Saul or Elaine from Seinfeld. And then it was just like 12 at midnight. We run up to my dad, who is like just like doing something. He's like maybe going to go to bed or something. And I'm like, Dad, I need you to settle the debate for me and Jack Dunn. And he's like, what? And I was like, who do you think is more hot? Kim Wexler or Elaine Bennis? He's like, Elaine Bennis? And Jack Dunn just goes, fuck. And then my uncle was right behind my dad. And there's kids around at the camp out because it's like my whole family and all of my family's friends. And then
I felt so bad.
my uncle
after
goes,
this.
my uncle goes, all right, we do not need people screaming the F word. And then Jack Dunn was like, my fault.
I felt so bad, bro.
But it wasn't even that big of a he
Oh.
doesn't care.
But then you were like, well.
I was like,
Should I say what you said after that?
well, yeah, I was like, what I was like is like, he's got, there's people doing much worse things at the camp out. Probably his own children are doing swearing just as loud somewhere else. Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say a certain stuff. Yeah, I was basically gonna say.
Do you want to say it? I'll bleep it if it's bad.
No.
Okay.
Jack doesn't want to use a bleep.
No, I don't.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a Notch episode if Notch didn't say something that had to be bleeped.
Oh yeah.
I think you said something earlier that we had to bleep. Remember when we
Yeah.
restart? Remember when we restarted episode 1 twice because Notch said something out of pocket in both of them?
No, I remember Notch like
That
blew our cover like a few times.
Notch blew our cover. Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
Nah,
No.
maybe later. I remember at the beginning he was just saying stuff,
But just some
stupid out of pocket stuff.
So we didn't know what we wanted it to be.
Yeah. We had the intro like planned out, so the original podcast intro isn't real. Like where I'm like Marcus is on the wall and like I'm like mad at him. Obviously we planned to do that, but like my reaction wasn't real because we had been doing it 3 times, so we had to restart. Yeah. Anyways, the funniest part was on the first take of the podcast, I accidentally said Loudmouth podcast and then fucked it up, and it was really funny. And then we had to restart because of Notch. Maybe that's why we didn't have Notch on for 115 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Was
We
because
started,
He
like,
sold us
3
a few
times.
times.
yeah, that was crazy. Well, what else do we have to talk about the camp out? Anything else, or
I'd say
I'd say the most running joke was the fact that
it was crazy. No. I'd say it was crazy that a baby just got domed.
oh
in
my
a
God,
volleyball
it was
match.
like the Scott Sterling video where there's a volleyball tournament and someone hits it out of bounds and there's a baby, it's like a mom with a baby, and it just dunk right in the baby's face.
That's exactly
And then like literally the next point it almost hit and the mom blocked it. And then I don't know if you were there, Jack, but a ball hit a dog in the face. And I was like, oh, it's the most cursed game of volleyball. It knocked over like so many people's like drinks got knocked over.
My team was the first one to get eliminated.
Yeah.
My team got last.
Yeah.
I wish I could have played that shit.
Yeah, I know Nacho had been
Well,
super
you were
competitive. Nacho and
I-
Tegland were fishing.
I would have played if I wasn't broken.
Oh, that's true as well.
I'd
Yeah.
be
But
able to
I
do
can't
everything.
believe you guys caught some
everything.
gnarly fish.
Yeah, we did. It was
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Should I put
It's
up a
like-
picture?
Yep.
We can. I'll send you a picture.
I have the
Like,
picture.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, you
the
sent me.
Campout
Oh yeah,
group chat.
that's right.
Tegland sent it to me.
Yeah, that part of the stream like isn't even like designated for that fish.
Yeah,
Even it's the best fishing I've ever had on that stream.
really.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I think
like,
it's cool that you
it's-
got. It's really sick that you got to fish on their property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was pretty nice. Usually I just walk straight through the stream, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it when everyone's doing like a variety of stuff at the camp out because there's all the stuff to do.
It's cool that your folks liked it too.
Yeah. Oh no, my whole family likes doing it. Like we spend so much time setting it up. Obviously they spent a little more time than me this year
And
because I was at college, but
What's the budget on that?
oh, I don't even know. I don't even want to think
you
about it.
don't?
I don't. I
So you gotta get the porta potties, the washing station,
yeah, the porta pot. We have to rent the porta potties and the like the washing station.
the
That's
bouncy
the
house.
bouncy house we own.
Oh shit,
Someone owns that. Someone
that's
owns
sick.
the tent and all the chairs and
Yeah,
stuff. And like obviously my grandparents. So I guess the only thing is like that and like all the food and stuff
is
and
not.
yeah, but that's the first year we've mainly done it. We used to have like someone would serve shit
Oh
on. We
yeah,
used to like order like a bunch of pizzas or we'd have pulled pork or whatever, pulled beef. What do you call it? What do you call it when it's roast beef but it's just pulled like
Pull. I don't know. Just pulled
what did
beef.
everyone
pulled
had it
beef.
at their I think it just people just called roast beef sandwich, right?
Yeah, it
But
was,
you think of
and
it
that shit smacked
yeah,
though.
everyone
That
had
was
that at their
so
grad
good.
parties.
It's good. It can be.
Yeah.
It can be good. Yeah.
That was like the best
It's a good
no barbecue sauce
block
beef I've
meal.
had.
Or
Yeah.
what's well, not block meal, it's a good mat like
If you gotta feed a lot of
whatever the fuck
people.
I'm trying to say here, you know what I mean. It's a what it's a good bulk meal is what I should
Yeah,
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but what I was trying to say is
easy to serve a lot of people.
yeah, so it's that and then also like all the power because you got to have all the crock pots running in
Oh
the
yeah,
thing and like all
how
the
many
lights
extension
everywhere.
cords
Yeah, a lot of
I
extension
went on?
cords. Yeah, and obviously like so it's like we clean up the yard because it's also the beginning of spring, so
Yeah.
like it was just winter and then everything gets all fucked and we gotta like fix the yard again right when everything is done melting.
How much trash did y'all have to pick up?
A lot. It was a good amount. It was
Dude. Yeah. I think we kind of made a mess this year.
Yeah,
Low
you
key.
you kind
no,
of
we made the biggest
you
mess we've personally ever made, but usually Cade will have a lot of friends, and this year like he didn't have a lot of friends, so or come,
Oh.
so he
And
like
that. But I know when you guys were younger, like Chase. When Chase. How old is Chase? Is he like in his
Chase
30s?
like 26, not 20. No, no, he's like 28, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I bet there's always been a ton of kids at the campfire just like
Yeah.
having their time.
drinking.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah. Well, anyways, uh, yeah. So yeah, it was cool. I don't know. We haven't done it since the podcast started, so we
Yeah,
haven't
no,
really
that
talked
was
about
it
it.
was no, it was great to be back. I
But
remember
yeah.
like I was like one of the first people to get there. I pulled up. Lucas sees me. As soon as I pull into the property, he sees me and he's walking towards my car, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "It's good to be back, my brother."
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah.
Cause
So
I know that shit's always fun. So
yeah, yeah. Like I love yeah, we like having people come and you know yeah. Well, there was one point where like what we used to do at the campo is used to like there used to be so many planned activities. Like there used to be like ping pong tournament every night. Like obviously that just stopped very recently, but there used to be the whole Amazing Race. Like my parents would
yeah,
set up like a big leg of the Amazing Race and like through
hmm
the woods, through the house, they'd have all these puzzles and challenges and shit. My parents and like my aunts, uncles, and everyone like it was
I feel like
basically
it was a lot
based
more chill
yeah,
this
it
year.
was yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It was basically all day Saturday was that, and then just more recently, people like it's just been much more chill, and we don't really have planned events. Maybe if we
Hmm.
want to come up with like a bags tournament or a volleyball
Volleyball
tournament, we can do
tournament.
that.
Yeah, we did that this
But
year.
that back in the day, it
it's
used to
not
be
structured.
yeah, it used to be oh at this point we're gonna serve breakfast from 10 to 11, and then we're gonna have the Amazing Race all day Saturday, and then it's be the ping pong tournament, and then oh we're gonna have the blanket trade and shit like that. So there used to be
Dude, I wish I
a lot
went
of
for the
activities.
Amazing Race.
The Amazing
Man.
Race
Yeah,
was
sounds
very
fun.
fun, but it was also very stressful. I have a lot of fun memories from the Amazing Race, and you know, I think nowadays my parents and aunts and uncles they would come up with setting up those challenges. They'd have to test to see if they're hard and stuff, and now they just spend so much time on that. Now everyone's busier with their jobs, and I think especially since all the grandkids compete in it, and
Mm.
all everyone's friends and everyone. Um, it just I we are like we help set up so much stuff that it's hard to like keep everything a secret too. So that's why we kind of stopped doing it. I guess it just because we want to have more of a casual experience.
Yeah, no, that's fun. Like it was
Yeah,
nice
you
to.
came the year after we stopped doing the Amazing Race, and then that was one of my favorite years because it just I always get stressed for shit like that because I always want to win and
Yeah,
I did win most of the time. When the only time I lost was because, well, I used to lose all of them when I was younger, but when like one year I think was partnered with Elena and we won, and I was partnered with John Braun and we won, and one year I was partnered with Cade and he didn't want to do the food challenge, so we had to wait till the last person was done and then go. So we were in last at some point, and so me and Cade came back to second place. Point being,
Respectable.
it was
With the bullet.
Cade sold that was the moral of the story. Basically, the food challenge that year was
Sold.
the challenge. The food challenge that year was you had to one person had to put a spoon in their toes and feed the other person an entire thing of tapioca pudding, and Cade did not want to eat the tapioca pudding.
You were gonna feed it to him with your toes?
No, in a spoon in my toes.
Oh.
So there's all these people doing it,
That's
and then
gross.
we couldn't do it just because you didn't want to eat tapioca pudding had nothing to do with my feet. But it was also I had done a challenge before. Like there's a challenge that someone has to do. Like you can choose like it's a roadblock or whatever if you ever watch Amazing Race. Like say we get to one challenge and it's like this is a roadblock, so it's going to be a disc golf competition. So obviously Joe Notch is going to do this, but
Yeah.
or it's going to be like a how about this? Let's just say this. It's going to be like a what's this thing you're second good at?
Second good at? Just name
Drumming.
Okay, there's a drumming competition, right? You have to drum 50 drums in a minute, right? This on the show. This is something we would do in the Campout Amazing Race. And you're like, oh, Notch, easily, right? So you pick Notch, and then that means Jacqueline has to for sure do the second challenge. They use the second challenge. It's disc golf. You're like, fuck. We should have had not Jack Dunn do the drumming challenge, so Notch could have done the disc golf competition. Basically, it's like that. I would have eaten anything because it doesn't matter to me. Cade is kind of I don't know. He was whatever. He's being a bitch at the time. Whatever.
I've never had tapioca pudding, but I've heard it's actually pretty
Yeah,
bad.
and then John Braun is there eating it. He's like, he asked the person who brought the tapioca pudding if he could have the rest of it, like the punishments.
Yeah, some people like love it.
Yeah,
It's a very like
Is it
you either
quiet?
love it or you hate it.
yeah. But I remember that was a long. Yeah, we
I've
had
never had it.
yeah we had a good we used to have a good time at the camp during the Amazing Race, but I don't know. In the past couple of years,
Were your folks like in charge of most of it?
yeah. Well, my folks is the Jack Dunn dialect. My parents would do a lot of it, but then like my aunts and uncles would come up with ideas, and then when it would be time, literally when we do the Amazing Race, like you'd have people at the stations, and a lot more people used to go to the camp out, but um, like
What's the most you've ever had at a
I don't
camp
know,
out?
I have no idea.
Like how many more
Like probably
times?
just like twice as much,
Twice
but it
as
was
many
like
people?
I guess it's just
That's
more
that's a good
not
amount.
necessarily people that spend the night because Chase's friends, but like people that
Yeah.
just show up throughout the day.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe I'm wrong, but like it was like a lot of like all my aunt's friends would come, and then all my like sometimes the other half of my family would come, and then my grandparents like had a bunch of people that they knew, like people from the town would come or whatever,
Mm.
Yeah.
and then but now I guess whatever.
I think
it's
that's a good idea for next year. Just have like a lot of people coming and going,
well like that's
like as they please.
it's just another thing that's transitioned over
Or
the years. It's just like we don't want to
invited.
people get invited
Oh.
and they're like, oh, it's like a whole thing. Like I don't want to have to spend the night or like wake up early in the morning. I guess
Spend 2 nights
don't really have to,
Yeah.
but some people like feel like they want to or whatever. So I think now it's fine. It's like less like food, like things we have to make,
Oh yeah.
and then like more people that are there for the whole time and are experiencing it, and whatever. Anyways,
Having twice as many people would be a hassle. Like
yeah,
you'd have to have like
and especially
crazy amount of shit.
yeah. But back then it was like also the Amazing Race, like everyone who wasn't participating in it would like be like assisting in like some challenge. So basically, this thing that took a whole day Saturday, and then like so, and people would be set. My parents would just be setting up for it on Friday night as well, and they'd be taking stuff down on Sunday. Like it's bad when we have to take down all of our tents, but then we also have to go into the woods and go across the river and pick up 500 Easter eggs that are on the ground and shit like that. So it was just like a whole thing, and now it just dominated the whole weekend pretty much. So there's one year where my grandparents used to be like, "Are we really gonna do it this year?" And now, especially since Chase and Cole's friends, they're so like they all of them stay and help the next day and stuff. So it's not that hard to clean up. It used to be such a big hassle. Anyways, point is, and now my grandparents are like, oh, of course we're doing the camp out this year. So that's like the short history of what you guys have missed at the camp out. But now it's just much more of a relaxed event. And we hope to do it again next year and
I
hope
would
to have some
gladly
memories.
come.
I will
Yeah.
return.
If you let me know what weekend, is it just usually Memorial Weekend?
Yeah, it is
Alright.
always Memorial Day weekend.
Well, if there's not a good tournament next year, Memorial Weekend,
Yeah,
I will stay the whole time.
yeah. Mhm. I tried to tell a lot of people like 2 months in advance,
Yeah,
and
I
then even
already
some,
signed up by
and
then.
then yeah, no, and some people were like, "Oh yeah, I can do it," and then
Come.
now they're like, "Oh, sorry, I got work or something." It's like
Hmm.
it's almost like I told you about the camp out 2 months ago. I guess not. They not necessarily work, but you know what I mean. Like they have like some
Other
event they couldn't go to. It's like, oh, I literally asked, "What are you doing May 25th and May 27th?" I don't anticipate you knowing, but I would expect you to be like,
make
or
time for
I
it.
what I would do that. No, not well, yeah, but like I'd be like, "Hey, mom, are we doing anything over Memorial Day weekend this year?" No, okay. Like I'm more anticipated. Ask your parents if you're doing anything,
Hmm.
and yeah. So, anyways, one of the things we did to camp out this year was um, me and Jack done a lot of dumb inside jokes, as you guys may know. And one of them recently has been there's a song in Breaking Bad that we've been we had stuck in our head.
My mom and dad just watched that episode
Yeah,
like the other day.
we
No
had
way.
Yeah.
we had it stuck in our heads that song, and so like we'd be playing Mario Kart and we'd be like, "I got a blue shell." We'd just be like singing the lyrics. And for one night, me and Jonash and Jack Dunn were playing Mario Kart. We
Say right here.
yeah, we
Right here.
literally, yeah, we didn't have to download a fucking SD card into our thing or anything. Anyways, so we just communicated by singing that stupid ass song, and then we were like, for the camp out, we can't do that because everyone's gonna hate us, so we didn't really do it. But then we all listened to "Come to Life" by Kanye West on Sunday or on Friday nights, and then everyone at the camp out, like all of our friends, were just singing come like a different song but the same joke, and we're like, "Fuck,
Oh no.
It
yeah,
like transformed in front of
Ben
us.
yeah."
Ben was so fucking tired of that shit by the end of the camp
Ben
out.
couldn't take it
Ben
anymore.
left home. Ben left early and didn't even
Yeah.
spend the night.
I
I
know.
think
He's like
I
he
think he
just
might.
wanted to
Huh?
he wanted to sleep in his own
I know how
bed.
much Bornda loves him. That's why I was
Yeah.
surprised he even came
Ben's bed is comfy.
slept the night. He was he he's one of the
You would
people that
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a lot of people left early because I think they just wanted to go back to bed in their own bed.
Hmm.
I
But
got much better sleep the second night though. So
yeah,
first night,
That's usually how it goes.
first night I
Honestly.
was like,
yeah. I wish that people
because
like
I literally forgot to bring contacts
yeah.
the first night to like
Save the sleeping
so I
contacts.
could like take them out before I go to bed,
Uh huh.
and like I literally didn't bring any the first night, and I was like,
So you have to sleep in your contacts so then you could drive home the next
I
day
had to yeah exactly. So I had to sleep in them because if I didn't have them in and I drove home, I wouldn't be able to see
to see.
anything on the road because my vision sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So like I literally couldn't see. I literally had to sleep in them, and I woke up and my eyes were just like, oh,
I'm
like
so glad I don't have to wear
they were
contacts or
so
glasses.
dry. They were
Yeah,
so
I
dry.
am
I was
too.
like, oh.
Do you still have the same prescription as you did when you had the goggles?
It's probably changed a little.
A little?
Yeah,
Do you still have the goggles? That's the real
somewhere.
question. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no. Do they need to make a
Jack Dunn used to wear
comeback?
goggles when he played basketball. For people who don't know, it
Dude,
was
That
that
the
good.
was a
goggles, bro,
legendary look.
goggles are sick, bro. I don't care what you say. Like,
That
So
was
that sounds like something that
it was cold. I
some
loved
players
it.
who have them are like different.
Hmm.
yeah. Anyways, what were we just talking about? We're talking about the camp out. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we could talk about. We'll probably be talking about whenever we have more people on. Like if Sank was done, we'll probably have a story from the camp out. But like, yeah, we've had many iconic stories and
Who?
inside
I
jokes
think
originating at
Kareem
the camp out.
Abdul-Jabbar wear goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, he had an eye injury, right? If I
Okay, I guess
remember
just
correctly.
fuck what I was saying.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, well, we do have one final thing we have. Well, another thing that we should talk about real quick. Actually, no, we could just go into this. So, basically, what we decided to do, I don't know if you guys know this, but maybe since the last 2 or 3 episodes, I don't know. I've been kind of inconsistent lately, but like a while ago, the beginning of May, Karl, our beloved Karl, shaved his head and went to Texas to get a basic training. And so he did not bring his phone with him. So we decided that we are going to try to update Karl on what's been happening in uh, in the world, not necessarily in the world, but like in our world and in his world especially. And we're gonna write him a letter and mail it to him. And then you guys won't be on the episode, but when he comes back or when he mails us back, hopefully he'll mail us back. And we're gonna read that on the podcast that it gets back to us on. So I gotta get something to write this on. Maybe I'll write it on your copy of Mario Kart Wii.
That'll
That's
work.
notches.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I know. Yeah.
Dear Karl,
Dear Karl. Okay, this isn't gonna work.
comma.
What, I'm gonna move this table over, Jack. Is that all right?
No.
No, it's not. I'm gonna do it.
Just move the remotes.
Of course, I'm gonna move the remotes.
No,
Of
just
course,
put 'em
I'm
on.
gonna move the remotes.
Do not drop it.
Drop it.
What? It's fucking! I accidentally break it, and
The
then it's
camera
on
can
camera.
see it.
It's like Jack Dunn's like grandma family heirloom.
No, it's fine.
I
it's old as
am
hell.
okay. How about you? You explain, Jack Dunn, why we're in your house, by the way, and I'll start the letter. Okay.
Okay, so the reason this is the first ever episode at Studio D, as I like to call it, here in my
Studio
base,
Dick.
here in my basement,
Here in my garage.
and that is because
Apple Lamborghini.
we were like, well, Lucas wanted to do the podcast, and we wanted to play Mario Kart, so I was just like, shit, we can just do it here, I suppose.
And then I was asked to be on the podcast, unbeknownst to me, about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna do it yesterday because I think after the camp out, I got Zaruba and Marcus to agree to do the podcast the next day, and then on the next day they were both. Well, Zaruba said he could do it, but Marcus was like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually doing something with my brother." I'm like, "Oh," and I was trying to say like, "Well, does any of them want to do the podcast?" But he was, I don't know, I don't think he was in the mood to do the podcast. As were you, Jack. As was Kale.
I wanted
I don't
to
think
ride.
Everyone was very
Why
tired
you
after the
wanted to?
weekend.
Yeah.
It was a lot of doing shit and no sleep.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what I got so far. Dear Karl, I'm currently in Jack Dunn's basement recording episode 116 of the podcast. All right. So we are, oh, in parentheses, Jack Dunn. You guys should probably talk about other stuff while I write this. This is probably going to be entertaining listening to me write.
Yeah, it probably isn't.
Well, are we even gonna have time to play Mario Kart tonight? It's already 12:21.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Only we
This
can.
is a long boy of a podcast.
Yeah.
Remember when Jack Dunn wanted this to be 45 minutes?
Well, still wouldn't have been opposed to it, folks. I'm just playing.
At least you didn't kick us out, Jack.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. At least it's like a 2018, 2019 thing where you'd kick us out.
Dude, when did I kick you out?
You want me to tell the story?
No!
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I
Was
got two
it
stories.
about a movie?
No, it was before you went to see a movie. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, is that what happened?
In hopes that you will
Just do it anyway. It's
write us back so I can read it on the podcast. All right, so we are, parentheses, Jack Dunn and Joe Notch finally returning, lol. Or Jack Dunn and Joe Notch, comma, finally returning, lol. So, writing to you while recording in hopes that you will write us back so I can read it on the podcast, all right? So, Joe Notch. So, here, okay, this is all right. Here is an update on what you've missed. Okay, so go. What has Karl missed since he went left? All right, so we're back. Jack Dunn just thought of something to say. Okay, so what did you have to say?
Doctor Strange was pretty good.
Okay, Doctor Strange. Okay, so you Notch can list up stuff too.
Me and Notch have taken a new hobby in Mario Kart Wii.
Doctor
Tell them
Strange was
about my
good.
plans to mod my Nintendo Wii.
Jack
And
Dunn
they're already starting to look like shit.
Yeah.
trying
Can't even connect to a fucking
to
Wi-Fi connection.
illegally connect to
The servers don't even work, bro. I think
They work.
the
no, they just it won't let me.
Nintendo
I don't know what's going on.
Wii
Oh my God.
Black
You have a notification.
It's just a Windows update. Black
Yeah,
market
fuck the Windows update.
and
So
Notch caught a fish.
A fish.
In the Vermilion.
A single fish.
Yes.
Not.
Here's an update on what you've missed. Doctor Strange is good. Jack Dunn is trying to illegally connect to the Nintendo Wii black market, and Notch caught a fish. Also, okay, so what else happened? Dave Chappelle was attacked.
Indeed.
The Mona Lisa was pied. What was I? Why was I just about to write something about Adolf Hitler?
What?
I don't know why I was about to. I'm like, and Adolf Hitler died or something like that. It's like, oh wait, no, that happened in 1946.
Who's died and
No,
Carl wouldn't know about?
no, not someone who died. Well, it was something another. Oh, crypto died is what I was gonna say. I
Oh.
don't know why I started thinking about Hitler.
Why?
Crypto died, and the wild and the timber. Was that after Carl left?
I think Carl saw the two wolves getting eliminated.
Okay, so who else has been eliminated? The what other?
Oh, say the
Twins are
say-
actually good.
No, I know the Twins are
say
good.
the NBA Finals matchup is the Golden State Warriors and Boston Celtics.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, okay, so Crypto died and the Wild lost. LOL. At least the Twins are good. Okay, so now, well, how are we gonna close out this letter?
Oh, the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals. Say the NBA Finals matchup is the Golden State Warriors and Boston Celtics. Jack Dunn has Warriors in 6.
Are
And
the
6.
Yeah,
Warriors
in 6.
I said Warriors in 7. That's my opinion.
Warriors in 6.
Celtics
Celtics will try their
And-
best, but
and Jack? Wait, Jack Dunn has Warriors in 6.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry just
Has Warriors
and Klay Thompson's
in
back.
And
6.
Clay Thompson.
And,
And Jordan
uh,
Poole.
Wait, what has happened in politics that Carl would care about? Oh, do you think that Carl gets known about do you think he knows about the whole about all the shootings and stuff? Do you think that the U.S. Navy tells or the U.S.
Dude, he probably
What
doesn't.
is he Air Force? I'd assume
Air
Carl
Force?
would
I'd
go
assume
Air
they'd let him know
Force.
if an American
I'm,
tragedy
I'm
happens.
not sure how much they get to be in touch with the outside world.
Really? So you don't think they? Well,
I'm not sure.
I
how
think
much
at least I know his mom at least sends him a fucking a newspaper usually
Yeah.
every day. So he must know about that at the very least. Obviously, we're not going to write in the letter because that's not funny, but because we're just writing about funny stuff right now.
I think he
Yes.
can just close it.
Yes. And Jack Dunn has Warriors in 6. Joe Notch says he loves you and misses you. And
I love and miss you, Carl.
he also loves your dad, aka story time.
No, he's gonna show that to his dad. He's gonna be like,
What the fuck?
Hey.
Continue on
That'd be
back.
funny.
Also, Carl, I hope that your hair is coming along nicely. Lol. Ha ha. Love you. From Lucas Hansen
Bald buff Carl.
and
Think about it.
Joe and Jack. Dude, if Carl's buff. Okay, so then I'll write P.S. Write the response. Can he write letters and send them back?
I'd assume so.
Yeah.
Write the response letter to random people and just guess who you think will be on. That would be funny. Ha ha. All right. I think that wraps up the letter boys. I think that also wraps up this episode of the podcast. What would you guys say? Any response to that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's been a long one.
yeah, holy.
We initially planned for like
a
45
short
minutes.
This is gonna be a short podcast.
Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing here?
I think I'm in the wrong episode.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be on the podcast till next week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I
don't know.
fucking know.
I haven't seen that
Where did it even come from?
That's another person I haven't seen in years. What the hell is happening recently? Something must be off in the Be Quiet podcast space-time continuum.
Oh no.
Yeah, next you're gonna see Liam Shellhammer come out. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode.
That's all, folks.
Yeah. So hope you listen next week. Yeah.
I'll be back in another 116 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nacho, I'll see you on episode 232 or 232. Yes. The first time.
I'll be back.
And yeah, I'll be back. Yeah. All right. Good episode.
Yeah.